Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Broadchurch. We are now on to the final season. Last time around we finished up Season 2. Joe was declared not guilty by a jury of morons. Easily swayed morons. So he was found innocent, but the people of Broadchurch decided, you know what, that don't mean we gotta keep him. So he was essentially banished from Broadchurch, and he is off to Sheffield at the moment. So yeah, probably won't see him again, but I don't know. In terms of the Sandbrook case, they were able to pinpoint that Ricky was the one who killed Lisa, and then Lee was the one who killed Pippa, and then Claire was in on the whole thing, pretty much. So, the three of them all went down for it, and the Sandbrook case was finally closed. Well, at least the investigation was finally closed. God forbid any of them get Sharon Bishop as a defendant. So, anywho. So, yeah. So there's that. And that's pretty much it. So, we basically are moving on into the final season of Broadchurch, but we're not really sure what we're going to be doing. Hardy left to go be with his daughter. Miller is, with her son and everything. And so, I don't know. We're going to have a whole new story this time around. So, it'll be very interesting to see where we are going from here. But, it's also the first episode of the season. So if you want to watch my full unedited reaction to this episode of Broadchurch, you just got to head down to the description into the pinned comment. There'll be a link there. It'll say watch the full length reaction here. That'll be separate from if there is a highlight, because last episode needed a highlight. Broadchurch. It's always the smaller shows like Broadchurch that get so persnickety about copyright, Oh well. Anyway, so you can do that. It's completely unedited. You just got to sync up your copy of this episode of Broadchurch to my footage. It's as easy as can be. And do that. Hopefully have a good time. When you come back from that, you can watch the discussion here on YouTube. So, why don't we go ahead and jump right into this episode of Broadchurch. Here we go. Alright, we're just starting, man.
He's my colleague. We work together. This is Trish.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Hardy.
Just putting the evidence sheet on the seat as a precaution. We only do this in case any evidence falls on their clothes.
Oh my gosh, this is like the first time Hardy's driven.
Now, I'm going to take a mouth swab. And the reason we do this first is basically so you can have a cup of tea.
Fair enough.
Hello?
Hi, Dad. It's only me.
You on your way home?
Not yet. Something's come up.
Doesn't it always?
Yeah. So, look,
Miller's dad.
I don't know when I'll be back. How's it going? Have you got Fred to bed okay?
Could you pick up a loaf on your way home?
Okay.
Okay.
Look, kiss those boys for me, and I'll try not to wake you if I'm late back, okay?
I don't sleep much anyway. Not since your mum.
Yeah, all right. See you then. Bye-bye.
Aww.
Are you able to tell us where the attack took place? You can't remember, or you don't want to tell us right now?
Can she just not talk, maybe?
Where do you live, Trish?
I suddenly realized she hasn't said a thing.
West Lincoln.
Never mind.
There's, Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't have anything to be sorry about.
No. Whew, starting with a heavy shit today.
Well done. Okay, back in.
Jeez, man, how can you stay cops? Shit is heavy. This is not for the faint of heart. These are some good people right here.
Do you believe me?
Yes.
You did this to me.
Well, that's what we're gonna take the season to find out. Whew.
Morning, sweetheart.
Guy already looks suspicious.
Do you live by yourself, Trish?
Probably fine. Let's just...
Leah, my daughter, she's away in London with friends. She's due back tomorrow.
Okay, don't worry about that for now.
What about Leah's dad?
We're separated 6 months.
Does he live nearby? We're gonna need his details.
Make a cup of tea, eh, sir?
Sure.
Alright, fine. This man, he's going into cop mode. He's working. Wonder how long it's been, like, in the show since last season.
He makes really strong tea. I think he must have been a smoker and it's killed his taste buds.
So,
I quite like the way he makes it, but don't tell him that.
I mean, he's going into work mode. He's not. He ain't making that tea. The tea. What are you doing?
Every time. Get the tea first and then do your nosing around.
We saw that you had an invite to Kath's party last Saturday. Did you go to that, Trish? Is that where the attack happened?
Okay then.
Was it during the party or after?
Okay?
Yeah.
Should you have a forensics team doing this?
I shouldn't really do this, but I'm going to give you my number, okay? Anytime you want to talk, you need anything, day or night, you can hear me, all right?
Thanks.
Don't tell him I gave you that.
Thank
No.
you.
Hello?
Ellie.
Trish?
Yeah.
Are you okay,
Just
Trish?
Yeah.
I
immediately.
was just checking this number worked.
I've locked all the doors and the windows.
Great. Try and rest.
That was immediately
You got the
blown.
panic alarm.
You gave her your number.
Oh, don't
you gave her
start.
your number.
So what?
Your personal
Yes,
number.
I
What have
did.
I told you?
She needed it.
Every time, Miller.
Pardon me for being
We
human.
investigate support services support.
Support services aren't there
Can't
yet.
keep doing this.
Once before.
Twice before.
Oh, what, are you keeping count?
Yes!
If I'm so annoying, why did you come back?
Oh, don't stop.
Always having a pop.
There's a
I
protocol.
did not miss this, you know, when you weren't in the constant berate.
Now it's a
Can be ringing
Broadchurch
you all the time.
episode.
She's been raped.
That is the ultimate conversation ender.
I think that's the corner of a condom wrapper. All with the sound of running water nearby. I think this is where it could have happened.
It might just be. Beth. You know, I was like, man, we've gone like half an hour without any returning characters. Alright. Which, I mean, it's fine, because, you know, we have new stories now, but, oh my god.
Sorry.
A beautiful girl.
Those days. Karen, my last one, that was tricky. I don't think I handled that brilliantly.
It's very hard to
Karen's
handle
horrible.
Karens.
She has had an incredibly hard life. Yeah. This job isn't easy. We're meeting women in crisis. Some have mental health issues. It's challenging. But I've watched you in training, in pilot sessions, in real life situations. You've got something special to offer, Beth. We need you.
She's doing, like, crisis outreach
This
stuff?
client referral just came in.
Which means... Is Beth gonna be part of the plot? Like, aside from just being depressed mother. Well, I like that. I mean, I'm sure that's a difficult thing. It's a difficult job, but... Mark wrote a book. Ah, Marky Mark. There's something inherently happy-sad about seeing the Latimers.
You think I'm being weird? You're not being a bit weird. I'm interested, aren't I? You boys a boat like that in the town where it happened.
Mark, you're looking sus. What are you doing?
God's sake, Mark. Sorry, Paul. I understand you're regretting it now, but skulking in the bushes watching isn't going to help. Tell him, will you?
I have been for the past half hour. Worried I'm going to spoil your sales, man.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying, and you know it. You wanted to do it. You gave me the interviews. We can't stop it being out there.
I know that now, don't I?
Oh, she wrote the book. That kind of makes a bit more sense.
Scene, middle of nowhere.
Brian!
To the elements. The scene could be from here all the way up to the house. Well, you don't like to make things easy for us, do you?
Sorry if we're inconveniencing you.
Can't find any obvious drag marks or footprints. You might have more luck.
Violent attack, ligature traces, possible use of a condom. It starts to look like it was premeditated.
I think you do your dusting and you leave us to sort the conclusions out.
Yeah, hello.
I think you should say sorry to Brian.
Well, no.
And you wonder why we call him shitface.
I mean, he needs to be not so much of a dick. I don't think you need to apologize to the man.
Can I ask you a question, Nola?
Of course.
How long have they been calling me shitface?
Since you first arrived.
Yeah, like 3 seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Put yours just in the bag, all right?
D.I. Hardy, DS Miller, Wessex Police, who are you?
Ed Burnett, this is my shot. What's it concerning?
Ed.
Sounds hard.
Can you make it quick?
No. Can we talk in private?
No.
Yeah.
One of your staff members, Trish Winterman, she won't be in for a while, personal reasons.
Why am I hearing this from you?
Because shut
Thanks
the
for letting
fuck
us borrow
up.
Kath.
Shit. Trish. Is it Trish? It's just that she's not been in and she's not returning any of my calls.
I mean, it wouldn't have... It wasn't going to be hard to
Is she
figure out who.
70, 80.
How many
Oh,
men?
boy.
50-ish.
50 men.
There were 50 men at your party on Saturday night.
Gonna be a long season.
We're awaiting preliminary forensics and Soko are just starting work at the scene now.
Wait, sorry, when did she report this?
Last night.
But the attack happened on Saturday. It's a bit of a gap. Are we sure she's genuine?
When you've completed your
yes.
sexual offences training, Katie, you'll understand we always start from a position of believing the victim.
For sure.
Given the specific injury...
Katie, like, chill out. We're trying to figure this out.
Crime scene.
It's just asking the question.
All right. You're new. We forgive you.
As of yet, we've made no public
Good job,
statement.
Miller.
Chief,
Why? What's the matter? What? I am so sorry. He's so sorry, aren't you? So sorry.
Oh no, what happened?
really sorry.
I mean, why
Man,
did
he
you
is
even get
older.
it? Oh, I didn't mean to press... Porn? Why?
Oh no, what?
Tom and another boy have been caught supplying links and files to a number of other students.
He's a porn dealer.
Oh, for God's sake.
Now, I don't know what you consider to be acceptable in your own home.
I don't consider this to be acceptable in my home.
You
I don't
bruh.
we don't have porn in my home.
Read the room.
Tom and the other student for 1 week.
Oh, brilliant. Well done. I'm
Suspension.
mortified and disgusted at his behaviour, and it will not happen again.
I'm sure we all understand how tough it has been for you as a family.
No.
Don't
say that.
What are you
It's
doing?
About that. It isn't. Thank you, Tom.
Boy, she handled that horribly. Not Miller, the teacher, handled that terribly. What are you doing? She's clearly pissed about this. Back her up. Don't be like, well, it's been tough for you. And no, she's pissed about this. All these kids get out of the bloody way. We're in. That's it.
15.
You're going to Paul.
Everyone watches this stuff.
You are not everyone. You're better than that. You have to be better than that.
Well, don't do it at
I will
school.
not have you be your father's son.
Oh, God. I mean, don't do it at school. Don't be a dealer. People can Google.
Okay, just make sure you all stick together, right? Don't walk home alone if it's after dark. You can call me if it gets late. I'll come and give you a lift. I won't mind.
Dad, what's going on?
Just be careful, okay?
The police stuff.
Don't mention this to me.
Well, thanks for freaking me out.
You're welcome.
Meh.
See you later.
That's good that you're freaked out. That's what he wants.
The police have just been here there after the invite list.
Shit. Okay. Are they sure?
just rung her. She's not answering her. Do you think I should go round?
I don't know. She's not answering to you. She probably wants to be on her own.
I just feel like it's our fault.
Why you're acting kind of sus right now.
I've got a new client. I haven't seen her yet, but she doesn't live too far. So,
Well, that's not good.
A woman round here got attacked.
Oh, you know I'm not supposed to talk about it.
If a woman round here has been attacked, I don't want either of you walking anywhere alone after dark.
we don't need you looking after us.
Let's sit down here.
Dad, don't go.
God
Mark, come on.
Bye, little Lisbug.
damn it.
After your mum and sister, will you? See you Thursday after the French exam?
Yeah, cinema. Mark, I didn't mean to.
They're not together, are
Nothing
they?
hardly comes around anymore.
Well, they're separated. And I don't blame her, but... I mean, it's probably the best. Ah, there's the cliffs. Those damn cliffs. And this damn road.
Why did he choose me?
One thing you'll unfortunately learn is the question of why is not a question that can be answered. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's... you can always count on Broadchurch to be heavy, you know? I mean, this feels like we're back to episode 1. Season 1, episode 1. Except now I know so many of the characters, you know? I know Hardy, I know Miller, the Latimers, Paul, Maggie. So many characters that we know now. And now a new case. The case of Trish Wintermore. Winterman, thank you. Thank you for the credits right there. Oh. I mean, it's just like... It's an interesting thing, you know? It's an interesting thing comparing this show, which I haven't done this since... pretty much since Season 1, Episode 1. But comparing this show to literally the only other British crime drama I've seen, which is Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. Comparing it to that is just really interesting because, you know, with those shows specifically, you know, it was always, there's a new case every episode, basically. Whereas here, obviously, we've established this pattern that, you know, the first season was the case of Danny Latimer. Second season was the trial of his killer and the investigation of Sandbrook. And now we have the case of Trish Winterman, which is going to be this third season. It's interesting. I don't want to say, like, this is kind of heavier than some of the stuff, because there were plenty of moments in Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes which were really heavy. I will say, though, I think this show... It's just the fact that they can dwell on it so much, you know? Like, this, you know, again, taking me back to the first episode, you know, that... One of the scenes that pops out in my head from that first episode is, you know, Mark standing over Danny's body in the autopsy room and, you know, just breaking down like that, you know? That's such a great scene. And those emotions, they're here. Chibnall's here to, you know, make sure you feel terrible about what has happened, you know? Okay, this is going to be a random aside. And this is completely off topic of everything, and we will get back to everything, but it's slightly on topic. Okay, so first off, the name Trish Winterman, you know, I kind of love some of these British names. You don't get stuff like this in America, you know? When you have someone named Trish Winterman, that's a hell of a name. But then her actress is Julie Hemenshalk. Like, I'm not even saying that right, I'm sure. No, Hesmondhalgh. what a friggin' cool name. I gotta say, we don't get names like that in America, you know? We don't get cool, ridiculously long, just extra names. So I just wanted to point that out, just as a quick aside, just because it's right there on my screen, because I paused the credits. So, a new case, and people are immediately being sus, you know? People are immediately being sus. Kath and Jim, immediate susness. Now, granted, it's interesting because, like, it didn't seem, like, so bad. Like, I don't think it's them. Like, we'll just start there. I don't think it's them. It's a little sus that, you know, she immediately called Jim, and she immediately called her husband and told him about this, and the way she was acting was kind of strange. But he was, like, very, I don't want to say, like, you know, unaffected, but he was very, like, normal about it. It's like, oh, you know, Trish got raped at our party. He's like, oh no, what the hell? You know, like he was very, like, I don't know, I guess genuine is what I would say. He was genuine about it. He was concerned, obviously, but he didn't really seem like there was anything sus with him. So, and obviously, you know, we went in with the first season, you know, there were sus people left, right, and center, but not one of them was Joe Miller. And that was the point, because, you know, they didn't even tell the actor that he was going to be the killer pretty much until the last minute. So that's the thing, you know? That's the thing. So it's probably the same thing here, that I bet you we haven't seen, you know, the person. Granted, I say that, but then we had last season where we pretty much, like, from the get-go had Lee, you know? But, oh boy, and man, how long... Oh, I guess I can't really figure out per se, because I'm on VLC. That doesn't matter. Oh well. Man, that was like a long... Like, I want to say it over 20 minutes, like a 25-minute segment before we got to Beth, basically. Like, that was such a long... And for good reason. Like, again, it's one of the strengths of this show that because it's one case every season, basically, I'm glad they do that so that they can really take their time. Again, not that there's anything wrong with the approach that Life on Mars took, but I just like this as well, you know? So, the fact that we can, let's stretch this out, you know? I like that. I really enjoy that. And, yeah, just this one, just, like, they make you feel terrible about what's happened. For a fictional character that you just don't know, who you just met, but just, like, the way, I don't know, just the way it's shot and just the weight of it really does hit you, you know? And that's good. So that was interesting, and we're figuring out... I like how it's like, yes, there's discrepancies in her story, but at the same time, like, she has every right to have those discrepancies. You know, it's exactly what Miller said to that new girl. It's like, well, we work on the idea of believing them, you know? Like, until we have evidence to not believe them, we just gotta believe them, you know? And I like that. I really enjoy that. I really think that's a good way of doing that. And honestly, even looking at some of the stuff, it's like, oh, well, if she was raped on Saturday, but why didn't she call it in until Monday, you know? And it's like, well, what the hell? I don't know. Why? I mean, it's the same thing of like, well, why did, when she asked, why did he choose me? I can't answer that. I can't, you can't even answer, what was going through Joe's mind when he killed Danny, when he did all of that stuff, you can't answer some of that. There are things with these crimes that there's just, you're trying to find the logic and that doesn't exist, I'm still doing stuff on my laptop over here, so that's why I keep kind of looking back. It's about to finish something, so I'm going to start a new thing, basically, so. Anyway. So yeah, so that, I mean, how do you find the logic in that? I don't know if you can, but it is the police's job to try to answer that question. So that's what we're working on. I will say, I really enjoy Hardy and Miller just being so, like, in sync, I guess. Like, they're so interesting together. I did also like, Miller giving her number to Trish, and then immediately that gets blown to Hardy, and he's just like, "You did it again," you know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm back. Started a new thing. It's basically, if you want to know what I'm doing, it's the magic of having a screen recorder on a computer. Anywho, so yeah, all of that it's immediately a compelling case. So. Speaking of compelling cases, Beth Latimer. Our beautiful, depressed woman, you know? So, Beth is now in crisis support, and I like how, like, this'll kind of get her into, like, involved in the plot, you know? Like, she's always kind of been... I mean, I don't want to say she's, like, a bystander, but, like, she's always been part of the plot, but at the same time, like, I don't know how to say it. It's like, she's been, you know, mourning mother, you know? Season 1 was good, but especially in Season 2, like, they kind of ran out of things for her to do when she's not in court, you know? So this time, it's like, okay, here's something that she can do, which will be interesting now to see, like, okay, how is she going to be involved with this? How is she going to work, presumably, with Hardy and Miller, you know? So I like that. That's an interesting thing. We got Mark. Oh, Marky Mark. So, it did happen. Mark and Beth separated. And honestly, I don't blame her for that. Even though, yes, it would be nice for them to work out, for Mark to work out his issues. I completely understand why she didn't do that. Why she decided to separate from him. I get it. They're trying to have some sort of a healthy relationship, at least, you know? But there's still a little bit of tension between them, so... oh well. It's also interesting, the whole thing with the book as well, which, even though it says by Mark Latimer, I guess it was by... Was it? Or was it, like, by... Yeah, okay, so we didn't get to Beth, like, well over halfway, like, the 28-minute mark or so. It's crazy. Okay, so the book, Danny, A Father's Story... by Mark Latimer as told to Maggie Radcliffe. Okay. So she basically wrote the book. She basically wrote the book based on the interviews she had with Mark. Okay. But now, I don't know if it's that he's second guessing it, or if he's just, you know, or if there are just problems, basically. Like, he's uneasy, basically. So, but that was interesting. So yeah, so still things with the Latimers, but I'm glad to see, again, that Beth is going to at least be part of the plot. Because, I mean, I really like Beth. I feel like everybody does. I feel like there is not a person in the universe who can dislike Beth Latimer, you know? So I'm glad to see that she's still sort of a part of the plot. And I think that's an interesting idea, you know? And it's honestly better than what they had last season of, you know, working with the sex offenders, you know? Instead of working with the sex offenders, work with the victims. I think that's better for Beth, at least, you know? Tom's a porn dealer. What the hell? What's going on here? Out here dealing porn? What? What are you doing, man? It's like... Look... Even if you watch porn, you know? Even if you watch porn, you're at that age. I'm gonna start being your awkward dad about this, but not his awkward dad specifically. Just a general awkward dad, despite the fact that I am not a dad. I'm only 25. Well, those two don't have anything to do with it. You understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway. So, I understand you're going through that part of your life, son. I get it. We've all been there. We've all had those urges, man. Don't do it at school. What are you doing? What? And don't be a dealer, too. It's seriously... Okay, hold on. I can still look. When did this come out? 2017. 2017. Adjusting for the story, which 2017, that's 4 years since the last season. Adjusting for the last season in terms of the story, I don't know, maybe just going off of how old Lizzie is, I would say maybe a year and a half, 2 years later. Well, actually, okay. Tom was 11 at the beginning of this show. Now he's 15. So it's been about 4 years since the beginning of the show. So I'd say it's been about 2 years. So 2 years. This started in 2013. So it's 2015 now. No. Well, okay. What? It's the 2010s. It is the 2010s, specifically after 2015. There are ways. You don't have to be a dealer. It's not the 90s anymore. You don't have to be like, hey, I got this sick VHS. You want it? You want it so you can, go play with the snake? You don't gotta do that. You don't gotta be dealing porn. Unless, are you making money off of this? I would hope so. Not that you shouldn't do that still, but I would at least hope you're getting something out of this, because if you're just doing this to give porn to your friends, cut them loose. There are ways. Just do it. What are you doing? Any idiot with a Google search could figure that out. Anyway, it's not important. I'm spending way too much time on the discussion on this. The main thing is, the hell, Tom? What are you doing? Anyway, and then for the teacher, honestly, it was kind of funny. It was a little funny. Let me...
Oh, for God's sake.
No, I don't know what you consider to be acceptable in your own home.
I don't consider this to be acceptable.
That's the thing where it's like, no, I don't know what you consider to be acceptable in your home. It's like, what? Why would you think, especially based on her reaction, why would you think, oh, she allows her son to watch porn, so that's probably why this is, what? And then the next part.
I'm sure we all understand how tough it has been for you as a family.
No, don't say that.
Then, yeah, the whole thing was like, we know how tough it has been for your family, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. You do not get to do that. It is unacceptable behavior with no excuse. Just bring in Google. It is so fucking easy. Just Google what you want, man. Ugh. Jiminy Crimmins, man. Anywho, I've taken way too long on this. The point is, a woman has been raped and it's very, very sad. Okay? That's the main thing from this episode, and I've taken way too much time on this now. Very good first episode. Very interested to see where this case is going. And I'm very excited that Beth gets to sort of be a part of that plot now. So, very, very good stuff. And that's basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my what is this? Broadchurch reactions. I forgot the show for a second. There's also another video if you want to go check that out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.